Shalom and welcome to TGC. Mystery Babylon. Who is Mystery Babylon? What do we know about Mystery Babylon? We know during the days of the last day, the end of times, we are told that Mystery Babylon will be destroyed. Are there any clues that the Bible tells us how we can identify who Mystery Babylon is? Any hints? Anything to look out for? Let's take a look. We're going to look at original Babylon. Are there any traits that Babylon had at the time of Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar that would give us clues to what to look for regarding Mystery Babylon? We're going to look in Genesis 11, verse 1. Now the whole earth had one language and one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Then they said to one another, Come, let us make bricks, and bake them thoroughly. They had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth. So in these first few verses, we see a one language. And we see a high tower. We make a tower whose top is in the heavens. We have one language and a high tower. Now, are there any prophecies that we know of today of people competing for the tallest tallest buildings? Do we see that today? And do we see a one language today? And let us make a name for ourselves. Who wants to make a name for themselves? But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language. And this is what they begin to do. Now nothing that they propose will be withheld from them. Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they ceased building the city. Therefore its name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. Now we are in Daniel 3. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits and its width 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. And King Nebuchadnezzar sent word to gather together the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the Magarites, and all the officials of the province gathered together for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then a herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that at the time you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery, in sympathy with all kinds of music, you shall fall down and worship the gold image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning furnace." Now, when I read this, I hear a call to prayer. And instead of an image, a gold image, what do we hear about setting up an image? We will go to Leviticus 26, verse 1. "You shall not make idols for yourselves, neither a carved image nor a sacred pillar shall you rear up for yourselves, nor shall you set up an engraved stone in your land to bow down to it, for I am the Lord your God." So here, Leviticus 26, verse 1, it's not only making yourself, you shall not make idols for yourselves, nor a sacred pillar, but the God here, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, also instructs, "Nor shall you set up an engraved stone in your land to bow down to it, for I am the Lord your God." Today, do we have anywhere that a stone is set up that people, when they hear a call to prayer, that we see in Daniel 3, this is a call to prayer, that they bow down to it? Whenever you hear it, do we see this happening today? In the Tower of Babel, a tall building. Are there any prophecies that any of us know about that speaks about end times, that people will compete for the tallest buildings? And we put all these together from the original Babel. Do we see all this today? And if we look at Leviticus 26, this is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I asked the question, are there any people who claim that they worship the God of Abraham that are doing this? Is this enough for us to identify Mystery Babylon? And this is just the beginning. There's more. But I'm going to keep it here, because I would like to know your opinion. What do you believe? Who is Mystery Babylon? Is this enough evidence that I have just went through to make you think, to make you want to dig deeper into Scripture, to know who Mystery Babylon is. If you would like to share your opinion, please leave a comment. I'm sure many people would engage, have a discussion, bring different point of views. I thank you for viewing. Shalom.